This is Mark Schofield from Inside the Pylon with another edition of First Sound. Today I'm going to be looking at rising senior quarterback Austin Allen from the University of Arkansas. Allen took over as the starter last season when his brother Brandon departed for the National Football League. Allen had a fairly solid year for the Razorbacks, leading the team to a 7-6 record that includes a loss in the Belk Bowl to Virginia Tech on December 29th. For his part, Allen completed 61.1% of his passes for 3,430 yards and 25 touchdowns with 5 interceptions. And turnovers will be something I'll be looking forward to watching this year to see if he can cut down on those. He had 2 3-interception games, including one against Alabama and one against Virginia Tech in the aforementioned Belk Bowl. He also had 2 INT games against LSU and Missouri in the regular season finale. What I'm going to focus on today is ball placement and touch, particularly underneath touch. When you're watching Allen, one of the things that does stand out is he's a fairly accurate quarterback, tends to put the football where it should be. But I really like his understanding of sort of underneath zones and how he uses touch and precision accuracy to put the football where it needs to be, particularly when you have crossing routes against underneath defenders. But there's also an element to his playing ability where he puts the football on deeper routes exactly where it should be to put his receivers, often as former tight end Jeremy Sprinkle, in the most advantageous position to make a play either after the catch or at the catch point itself. We're going to look at 4 plays, 2 from their game against TCU and 2 more from their game against the University of Florida. Here we start against TCU. This is a 2nd and 23 play, and you see right from the start, Austin Allen is under center, so be ready because the pro offense comparisons and the pro offense experience talk, that will happen with Allen. And there are some pro style components to his offense that he was running in Arkansas. A lot of play action stuff with deep drops, a lot of play action stuff with boot action and things like that, things that you would expect from, for example, a Gary Kubiak style offense. Here we're going to get Sprinkle on the deep crosser. He's lined up here as the tight end, and he's going to be coming deep crossing route this way. We're going to get the play action fake with a deep drop from Allen, the quarterback. Pretty decent fake, gets the head around quickly. Pretty good footwork on the drop as well. Loads up after he hits his depth point, and he's in good position here to get ready to throw. Now, we've got man coverage. We'll see it from a second from TCU. And he's really looking here to Sprinkle all the way. He sees man coverage and sees Sprinkle has the best sort of one-on-one matchup, so that's where he wants to go with the football. We have some edge pressure here. And what's nice from Allen here on this play is the subtle little slide. He has to wait a bit to let this develop, but it doesn't speed up his process. He doesn't panic. He doesn't throw it quicker than he needs to because of the pressure that's coming off the edge. He does just what he needs to in the pocket, gets himself a little bit more space to make the throw. See, he just feels that backside pressure, gets a little bit more space to make the throw, and drops it in right where it needs to be. I love the placement on that. See, here he comes. You've got man coverage. You see it there? That's Sprinkle coming on the deep crosser. Is Morgan, I believe. He's going to get picked up by the safety here. Allen's looking at Sprinkle. He knows it's man coverage now, and he likes this matchup here, so that's where he wants to go with the football. Now, he's got to kind of wait for this to clear a little bit. He's running sort of a deeper post. So he has to give it an extra little second to develop. He can try to drop it in now, but the problem is that guy could see it and make a break on the ball. So he needs to give it another extra half second to develop. And he slides just enough again, creates that separation. Now this route has drawn that now play side safety away. So we've got a clear throwing area to drop in this pass. Defender's underneath, so he's got to drop it over using touch into Sprinkle's arms. And that's exactly where he puts it. So that's one example of some patience in the pocket from Allen as well. Some pretty good accuracy on a deeper crossing route, dropping it in, using touch over the underneath defender. Now we're in overtime. Game's tied. It's 3rd and 4. Arkansas has the football. This is the first possession of overtime. TCU's guaranteed a possession after this. So Arkansas needs a play here. We're going to get Sprinkle again. Little smash concept. I talk about it a lot, but teams run it a lot. So we get the hitch route there. Sprinkle's going to be on the deeper sort of corner look here. We got sort of a single high look here. What we're going to see in a second, we're going to get a little bit of a zone turn here. We're going to get combination coverage. It's going to be a zone look to this side. Sprinkle again, Allen, puts us exactly where it needs to be. See, he opens to this side. He's looking this side all the way. He's going to see the corner here squat on this. So he gets a nice matchup here. Sprinkle 6'5" against a redshirt freshman, Jeff Gladney. Sorry for the delay there. Who's 6 feet. So you get 6'5" tight end on 6 foot redshirt freshman corner. That's a really nice matchup in a situation like this. So that's where Allen's going to go with the football. Again, good footwork. Ball's in the air. You got separation here. Receiver has his back to the defender. A little bit of space to the sideline. Puts it right where Sprinkle can get it. Puts it high for his guy. Again, you see there, corner squatting. So you're going to see the separation here. Allen puts it up right where his guy can make a play. And he takes advantage of the fact, look, your guy's 6'5", going up against a 6 foot corner. Put it up. Let him go get it. So he puts it perfectly. The only person that is making a play on that throw is Sprinkle. This cornerback is not making a play on that football. Sprinkle pulls on the touchdown. Now let's look at 2 plays against the University of Florida. Here again, we see Allen under center. We're going to get motion from Sprinkle pre-snap. And then again, we're going to get sort of this deep crosser type route. Arkansas loved doing this stuff. And when you sort of spin forward to what Allen might project to you in terms of an offensive style of play, those, crossing routes, using underneath touch, things like that, Ernst Perkins type of offense, that might make some sense for him when you start to think about Allen and his projection to the National Football League, potentially. So we're going to get motion here. Straight drop. Pretty good drop there. Doesn't get a ton of depth. I'd like to see a little bit more depth, but it times up fairly well here because, again, you've got Sprinkle here on that crosser. Allen's going to wait for this route to clear to get up some space for the crossing route from Sprinkle. So he waits a little bit. Now he's ready to throw it again. Got a trail defender here, underneath defender here. Got to drop it over. Drops it in perfectly. Looking at that again. Pretty good drop. And again, the touch, a little bit of pressure there. Doesn't panic, doesn't get flustered. Has to make it sort of a bit of a off-platform throw here because he's got some trash at his feet, so he almost has to step in the bucket to make the throw. But again, has the arm strength as well as the touch to put it right where it needs to be. One last example. This here is a red zone play. This is a nice situation too because we've got 3rd and goal right before halftime. You've got a 7-point lead. Obviously, you want to come away with points here, so you don't want to make a mistake, but you'd like to still maintain some aggression here and try to get the ball in the end zone. Get sort of a, almost looks like a man look here. We've got here, the corners. You got safeties that look to be in man alignment. Corner here, safety backside that looks to be in man. Middle of the field is open. So we're going to get this little quick post here from Morgan, the wide receiver. Allen needs to be sure of 2 things before he pulls the trigger. First, that Morgan gets inside this defender. Got to make sure he does that. Receiver has to cross his face. Second, got to be wary of the underneath guy as well because he's going to drop and get a little bit of depth there, help to try to take away routes, break it into the inside, so you have to be wary of him as well. So we'll see one more example of good underneath touch here. Little RPO action freezes the guys for a second. Allen, you see he's coming to the middle of the field. That's where his eyes are right now. Defender's inside. The receiver got inside. He crosses the face of that defender. So this is open, but the last thing Allen needs to be wary of is this underneath hold defender. And he drops it right over him, but keeps his guy in bounds. And that's, not an easy throw because you've got to get it over this guy, but you got to make sure you can drop that ball where your receiver is still going to make a play and stay in the field of play. Get 1 foot down in the end zone for the touchdown. So it's not the easiest to throw, but it's perfect. Perfect placement, perfect touch, touchdown. So that's a quick look at Austin Allen. As I'm working through this senior class and all the other potential draft prospects for the 2018 draft, Allen is somebody that I'm, again, intrigued by. Sort of more of a day 3 type prospect. He'll face some question marks about the turnovers and size as well. Similar to Devontae Kincaid, who I've did a recent video on. Allen's listed at 6'1", 209 pounds. We'll see if those measurements check out, but where some coaches do look for that 6'2" number from their quarterback spot, Allen might face some question marks, but he shows underneath touch and precision and ball placement, which I like. He's going to get the sort of pro offensive style boost because there are elements to Arkansas's offense that people like to think is more of a pro style type of game, where he's, play action with deep drops, play action with boot action and things like that. Those crossing routes that you sometimes see from NFL teams, he's throwing a lot of those. So there's some things to like about Allen as we get ready for the 2017 college football season and 2018 NFL draft season. I know that there have been people out there, Benjamin Albright, for example, who's been talking about Allen. So between myself and Ben, Austin Allen, somebody to have on your radar as we start to head into the fall. So thanks for watching this edition of First Sound from Inside the Pylon. I'm Mark Schofield. Please come back to InsideThePylon.com to check out all the work we're doing as we get ready for the next season in the draft waters to come. And you can follow us on Twitter as well at ITPylon.